Welcome back to FX Rhapsody. Tonight we're going to be looking at the United States dollar, Japanese yen, and we're also going to be looking at the euro versus the US dollar. But first off, let's start with the US dollar, Japanese yen, UJ. Today I'm going to be using my Fibonacci a lot, so it's just going to be interesting. Just wanted to show you guys how interesting and how powerful this Fibonacci really can be. And so yeah, let's start off with a monthly time frame on UJ. On the monthly time frame, we can see that, let's just scroll out a little bit. There we go. We can see that UJ has been moving in this trend line. Now guys, pulling trend lines or drawing trend lines, you can do it the right way, you can do it the wrong way. What is the right way? What is the wrong way? It's almost up to you. But I want to use this as an example quickly. Now, I've pulled this quick trend line to the top. Now, for me, a trend line is I want to have as much candles or wicks touch the trend line. The more wicks or candles touch the trend line, the better, and the stronger the trend line. So basically, if I pull it like this, you can see we've got multiple wicks and candles touching it. So the way I've drawn it now is we can see that this the candles are still within the trend line. It is still bouncing off it. But you can see over here, for example, these wicks aren't touching it. So if you adjust your trend line slightly, and you just move it up a bit. It's all to do with just drawing it properly. There we go. Now you can see there's more wicks touching the trend line. And by drawing it like this, you can see, oh wait, looks like price have broken through. Retested it, and now it's bouncing off again. So just always make sure when you draw your trend lines that, I wouldn't say draw it correctly. I mean, like I said, there's your correct and my correct is two different things. But for me, this just makes more sense, if you can see what I mean. What I've done now is as well, I've just made a duplicate of the trend line, moved it down like you saw, and moved it down to the bottom. And I mean, it just makes more sense. You understand? So basically, just be careful when you draw your trend lines, and just you can always adjust it. I mean, it's just it's up to you. But for me, this makes sense. You can see that UJ on the monthly time frame have been within this line. We had this false breakout. It came back. It retested it. It's been bouncing up and down. And over here, we can see that UJ bounced out of it, or broke out of it, retested it, and then looks like it is making its move to the upside. Not completely yet. We still need to break this little resistance at the top there before we can say that, you know, prices have actually gone up. The dollar's strengthening. So let's just see what it does in the next coming week. In any case, let's move down. For UJ, I'm just going to move down to the daily time frame. I just want to take out these two trend lines. There we go. Just take this one out as well. Just delete it there. So let's just make it nice and big. So UJ on a daily time frame, we can see now that, and we've seen it now on the monthly time frame, that it's broken out of the in the trend line. So it's making its move to the upside. So let's confirm that. What's happening here is, again, we draw more trend lines all the time. Okay, so over here, again, I just like to make sure that my trend lines are as, there we go, let's just do that. Let's see if we make a little duplicate here, we move it to the upside, and we can see that UJ is in a slight uptrend. It's making its higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows in this daily time frame. So you can see that it's definitely on its way up. We also have this area here that it still needs to break. Basically, it's been testing this resistance. I mean, this has been a resistance for a long time. Came up, broke slightly, but not quite. We can actually just move this up a little bit. Yeah, there we go. And then it had a break, fell back into that resistance zone. It wasn't a break and a retest. It's almost like just a fake breakout. And then it's just not getting through that resistance, basically. So as soon as it hits or goes through that resistance, we will see the dollar shooting up. But for now, it's still within that zone, basically. So we're keeping a close eye on that, and just want to take this one out before we move on to the daily. I'm actually going to leave my trend lines there. Let's drill down to the 4 hour quickly. Okay, let's expand it a little bit more. Now, on the 4 hourly, this is where we're going to start using our fibs. So basically, we can see that we have this area over here. So on the daily, we saw that it is wanting to break through that zone. Now on a 4 hourly basis, we can see, or on a 4 hourly time frame, is the correct term there. I just wanted to draw these lines in. So these are key areas, like you can see. This has been a resistance for a while. It resisted it, came down. Then this became a resistance, this area here. So you could see that price was resisting. It couldn't break through. Then it broke through back onto this second resistance here. This becoming more of a support for a little while. We're on the time frame just for a couple of hours. And then, you know, this has been a key area basically in the market. So if I have to take my Fibonacci out. Now, before I do that, I just want to highlight a couple of more areas here. So you can see on the top here, there's an obvious area that's been key. If we look to the left, you know, it's been a little bit of a resistance here as well. Broke it, supported it, and up it went. And then if you look a bit higher up, we can see another area that has been like that. It's been a resistance. Let's just line them up very evenly, basically. Okay. So this is just, you know, looking at price action, seeing what it's doing, drawing in support and resistance area and key areas, so we can see that price have been resisting it, breaking to the next resistance, coming down, resisting it again. So just looking at price action. So now what we do is we pull out our Fibonacci. So currently we can see that price broke through, bounced off this trend line, and it started making its way up. Now this is 4 hourly. There is about 1 hour and 35 minutes left on this 4 hourly candle. I mean, the day is almost closed, the market's almost closing. So not a lot of hours left for this week and day in whatever candle you're looking for or looking at. Now, if we draw our Fibonacci, because we can see this the movement to the upside. So we draw the Fibonacci from the low to the high. Okay, which is over here. So the low of the wick to the high of this breakout. We can see this back pull. So now we look at these areas, the key areas that we've drawn in. So the first area that we're looking at is the 38.2. It's a good area of retracement. This is where most pairs, currency pairs, come and retrace back to before it makes it move to the upside. Okay, so this is the first area we're going to look at right there. This 38.2% falls nicely in a nice resistance area. So when price gets, or in this area, especially next week, I'm not going to be trading today. I mean, there's a couple of hours left, but next week we drill down to a lower time frame, even to the 1 hour, to see what it does over here. Does it show signs of heading back up again, coming to retest this area. And when it comes to this area, is there going to be candle confirmation that it's going to go up again. Second area is obviously the golden zone area between the 50% and the 61.8%. Again, it's another area of resistance. Sorry, this just wanted to rather do that. Then it looks, there we go. Then it looks similar. Okay, so this is another area that we're going to be looking at. Okay, so let's say price comes down, and let's say price does not. So the first scenario is obviously going to be this. Whoops. The first scenario is going to be price comes down into this area. Signs show for a movement to the upside, and we place our buy here. Second scenario is price breaks this area and heads down to our next area of retracement, which is usually the 61.8%, but anywhere between the 50 and the 61.8%, and obviously it falls nicely into our next support area, and then price shoots up. So it's going to be either one of those two areas that we're going to be looking at. And another thing is, when, especially in the Fibonacci, when you buy, let's say, and I mean, I think you guys have watched my Fibonacci video. If you haven't, go back and watch it, and you will know that if you place a buy over here, the price shoots up, you get your first take profit is going to be your 0%, and obviously your second take profit or target area is going to be your minus 27. That's why we've got it here. And look where it falls nicely in this resistance zone. And then your next take profit area, look at where it falls. I wouldn't say 100% perfect, but I mean, it falls in that next area. I mean, this is the power of Fibonacci. It marks it out, key areas. It's just more confirmation of, I mean, that is where price is heading. So definitely, guys, those are the two areas we're going to be looking at, where price is going to retrace to. And let's see what happens next week on UJ. And let's see if price comes down to either the 38.2 or the 61.8%. So next pair, we're going to be looking at Euro USD. Let us just go down to the monthly time frame. Now, on the monthly time frame, we can see that there's obviously this big area of supply on the top, and we have this area over here. We can see that this is also a nice key area. I mean, price has definitely been on the bottom here on this demand or this support zone. You can see how price have been, respecting this area, breaking through it, becoming a support, resistance to the top, support, breaking through it again, breaking through support, becoming resistance, going its way, breaking through it again, becoming support, bouncing off and almost touching this resistance area. So guys, I mean, again, price action, nothing to it. So let's see what happens on that area. Price have not been breaking, or has not broken these two areas in the last couple of months, seeing that this is a monthly time frame. So price is still in between that for the Euro USD. Let's go to the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame, let's just expand it a little bit so we can see clearer. Always expand your charts, guys. I mean, don't go and analyze it when it's so small. Expand it nicely so you can see exactly what's going on. Over here, we can see this area over here, right there. I'm just highlighting it. It's a naked chart, just looking at certain areas on the chart that I'm seeing. We can see this area doesn't have to be this big though. Whoops. Sorry. Just want to take this out. I just draw a little bit slower. So there we go. We can highlight another area. Let's see here. This is also a nice area over here. Right there. Just line them up nicely. And then obviously we can go to the top. And then just draw that big monstrosity resistance at the top. The big area there we go. So I'm just going to minimize slightly. So basically what we're looking at is weekly time frame. You can see these areas that I've been highlighting is also resistance area breaking through this small area. I mean, there's a small support, a quick support, break, retest, go up. This has become a support area, resistance, support, breakdown. So this is also an area of support and resistance. So basically, these are three key areas in the weekly time frame that I'm looking at. I mean, you can be looking at different areas. You can be drawing it up here or wherever. But I mean, this is my key areas that I'm looking at. So if I had to, you can also see that price have moved up and is coming down. So again, Fibonacci, take it out, draw it from the low to the high, low area, high area. So it's from the low wick to the high wick, and look at how the Fibonacci plays out. So basically, price is starting to retest or retrace to the first area is the 38.2. Again, look at where it goes to. Look at this support area. Price is going that route. It's the same as the previous pair. Where's the second one? Look at this. Again, 50%, 61%. I mean, does it look familiar? Fibonacci is, it's honestly, it's powerful, guys. We must never forget about the Fibonacci. So those are the key areas that I'm looking at on a weekly time frame. So let's drill down to the daily. Okay. Just expand it slightly because I just wanted to draw a trend line over here. There we go. Like you can see, that's it. Is it touching? Everything is touching. Are we in agreement? Touching over here, wicks touching, touching, and boop, it broke the trend line. So we are expecting, or obviously expecting on the daily time frame, that because it broke, kind of almost retested. I mean, it went to this this area here, which is a basic. I just want to expand this again. There we go. There we can see better. So you can see that price broke this trend line, came up to retest. Obviously not retesting all the way to the top of the trend line because it was such a big or such a huge climb. It actually just could not go past this area of resistance, support turned resistance. So it's been respecting this area and price started dipping down. Okay, so what I do is, even before I pull out the Fibonacci, look at this area over here. Just wanted to draw it like this. Bam. Just line it up nicely. So you can see there was this area of support, resistance, came up, became a support, broke down, support again, and this area has been respected. Now this area has also been broken. Okay, so another key area we can look at right here. Don't have to draw it that big, as long as it touches. There we go. So you can see again, lots of wicks touching, candles and wicks. I mean, key area, guys, key area. And then at the bottom here. So you must also just be careful not to, I mean, I don't always draw all these lines in. I'm just trying to show you guys something, especially with the Fibonacci and how powerful this thing is. and how it respects key areas in the market. So I mean, the more lines and more zones you draw, it starts getting confusing. I like simplicity. I like it nice and clean. So, but again, these are key areas. We can see the price moved breakdown. So basically we take out our Fibonacci. So I just wanted to show you here, price went from the top, broke to the bottom. Okay, we are currently assuming that price is going down. It's going to create a lower low, lower high, lower low. So we're expecting that. We can see that well, it broke structure, in this the right term. So basically you can see price went from the low, from the high to the low, came back up to retest. The retest area was this area that we highlighted, and it is nicely in the 50% again, 61%. It retested that area, it started falling down. Currently we are seeing price at our first take profit area, which is 0%. Then next take profit area is the minus 27%. And just awesome that it falls nicely into our area of interest, the support and resistance, or resistance report, doesn't matter. I mean, it's a key area. And then the last take profit you can see is down here, again another key area. So guys, we will definitely be watching this one, the Euro USD, especially on a lower time frame. We will see what it's doing next week. Still a couple of hours left. Will it in actual fact stay below this key area? Will it break that area, break and close basically? If it does, there's a big possibility that it might just come back and retest it. You never know before it falls down. But I mean, price could still, especially on a daily time frame, next daily candle can open up and it go down to our next day profit. So let's just keep an eye on it. But definitely guys, start using your Fibonacci. Look at your key areas in your market. Draw your support, your resistance lines, your trend lines. A lot of guys don't do that. They don't believe in trend lines and all that kind of jazz. I mean, it's all price action, guys. I mean, like you see there, yeah, this stuff works, eh? And the more you do it, the more you practice it, the better you will get. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's been a long one, sorry for that. I just wanted to show you a bit more. But yeah, hope you guys have a fabulous weekend, and we will see you on the next one. Happy trading.